Most people think money changes you when you finally have a lot. When the big check comes. When the business takes off. When the salary doubles. They imagine a day when everything shifts. A promotion. An inheritance. A lucky break. But that is not when you truly change. You do not become a different person the day you get more money. You become a different person in the years before that day. In the quiet, hidden, ordinary choices you make with the little you already have. Here is the myth you must break. The myth that financial success is about how much you earn, not how you behave. The myth that it is about big numbers, not small decisions. The myth that once I make more, I will finally start saving. No. More money only multiplies who you already are. If you spend much when you earn little, you will spend much when you earn a lot. If you cannot save a small amount, you will not magically save a large amount. If you are careless with small bills, you will be careless with big ones. Money is not just currency. Money is a mirror. Every time money passes through your hands, it reflects something back to you. It shows your habits. It shows your priorities. It shows your discipline. Saving little versus spending much is not just about numbers. It is about identity. It is about who you are becoming. Ask yourself right now. When money arrives in your life, what do you usually do? Do you immediately think, what can I buy? Or do you quietly ask, what can I keep and grow? That one question is already shaping your future. There is a quiet law at work in your life. You become what you practice. If you practice restraint, you become disciplined. If you practice gratitude, you become content. If you practice thoughtful saving, you become trustworthy with more. But if you practice spending everything, you become dependent on the next paycheck. If you practice impulse, you become easy to control. If you practice ignoring your numbers, you become afraid of the truth. Saving little versus spending much is not only about comfort today. It is about character over time. Now, you usually see success from the outside. You see the house. You see the car. You see the business. You see the trips. From a distance, it looks like one big leap. One big win. But that is not how it really works. Think of an ancient stone staircase on a mountain. You stand at the bottom and look up. You see the top. It looks high, almost unreachable. You might say, how did they build this? And your mind imagines giant machines, dramatic work, something huge. But the truth is simple and quiet. That staircase was built one stone at a time. One careful placement at a time. One small, repeated action, over and over. No one stone looks impressive. No single step explains the whole path. But together, they carry you to the top. Your financial life is that staircase. Your saving is each stone. Your spending is each choice to lay that stone or throw it away. From far away, people will only see the top. They will say, you are lucky. They will say, you must make a lot. They will not see the years of small decisions. The invisible work behind financial success is not glamorous. It is simple. It is repetitive. It is often unnoticed. It is choosing to save a little when you could spend much. It is saying not now to something shiny so you can say yes later to something important. It is deciding that the person you become matters more than the image you project. Think of your money like water flowing into a field. If the soil is hard and cracked, the water runs off. It comes in fast and leaves fast. Nothing grows. If the soil is soft, prepared, and shaped with channels, the water sinks in. It nourishes seeds. It brings life. The water is your income. The soil is your character. The channels are your habits. The invisible work is in shaping those channels before the rain hits. You cannot control all the money that will ever come your way. You cannot predict every opportunity, every crisis, every change in the world. But you can prepare the field. You can decide now what you will do when money arrives. You can design habits now that will protect you later. This leads us to a powerful law. The law of preparation and opportunity. Opportunity does not change your character. It reveals it. When you receive more, you do not become someone new. You become more of who you already were with less. If you prepared with small savings, small discipline, small acts of restraint, opportunity will meet strength. If you wasted much, ignored much, and delayed much, opportunity will meet weakness. Savings are not just numbers in an account. Savings are stored decisions. Savings are past discipline waiting to serve you in the future. When preparation meets opportunity, it looks like this. You have been saving a little each month. Nothing dramatic. Just steady. The habit is quiet. Almost boring. Then one day, an opportunity appears. A partnership. A down payment. A course that could upgrade your skills. Others see it and feel frustrated. They say, if only I had money, I would do this. They cannot move. They are trapped by past spending. You see the same opportunity. You have savings. Your preparation has been waiting for this exact moment. You can say yes without panic. You can move without fear. You are not lucky. You are prepared. Here is the law stated plainly. Preparation with little controls your options with much. But this law also shows in darker times. When trouble comes. When pressure arrives. Pressure is a great teacher. It reveals your patterns. It exposes what you have really been doing all along. Let us look at two real lives. First, imagine Daniel. Daniel earns a modest income. He works hard. But he has a habit. Every time he feels stressed or tired, he buys something. New clothes. Gadgets. Meals out. He says to himself, I deserve this. He tells himself he will start saving later when he earns more. But later keeps moving. Months pass. Years pass. He gets small raises. His spending rises faster than his income. His account is always almost empty. Then one day, pressure comes. His company downsizes. He is let go. In that moment, the problem is not just the job loss. The problem is the years of spending much and saving little. Pressure reveals his pattern. No savings. No cushion. No options. His stress is not only about today. It is about all the yesterdays where he lived as if tomorrow would never ask questions. Now imagine Mira. She earns about the same as Daniel. No huge salary. No dramatic windfalls. But she made a quiet decision years ago. Every time she is paid, she saves a small amount first. Sometimes it is 5%. Sometimes it is 10%. Sometimes, when things are tight, it is less. She still enjoys life. She still buys things. But she lives below her means. She saves little instead of spending much. She tracks her money. Not obsessively. Just enough to know what is happening. Years pass. Her savings grow slowly. No one notices. No one claps. There are no announcements. Then the same pressure arrives. Her company downsizes. She is also let go. It still hurts. It is still a shock. She still feels uncertain. But her experience of this moment is different. She has savings. She has time. She can breathe. Pressure reveals her patterns too. But what it reveals is years of preparation. Years of small acts of discipline. Same pressure. Different preparation. Different future. Second example. Imagine two friends, Noah and Elias. They decide to start a small side project together. They both dream of one day having their own business. Noah has been spending most of what he earns. He often upgrades his phone, his clothes, his entertainment. He does not like to think about money. He says, money will work out somehow. Elias, on the other hand, has been saving a little each month for years. He does not deprive himself of everything. But he is careful. He buys what he needs, and a little of what he wants. The rest, he keeps. Now the day comes when they need to invest in their project. Some tools. Some training. Some basic equipment. Noah wants to do it. But he has nothing set aside. He says, maybe we can borrow everything. Maybe we can put it all on a card. Elias listens. Then he says, I have been saving for moments like this. I can invest my part in cash. The project begins that day because of Elias's past discipline. Another opportunity where saving little, over time, changed who could move and who could not. Do you see it? Saving little versus spending much is not just about comfort. It is about power. The power to move when life presents a door. The power to stand when life brings a storm. Now ask yourself honestly. When pressure comes, what will it reveal about you? Will it uncover a pattern of spending or a pattern of saving? Will it show avoidance or awareness? This is not about shame. This is about clarity. You cannot change what you will not see. Now we must talk about something deeper than money, your focus. You live in a world that is designed to pull money out of your pocket. Screens everywhere. Ads everywhere. Endless offers. Endless limited time deals. Your attention is under attack. Your desires are being shaped every day. If you do not protect your focus, your money will follow someone else's plan. Think of your focus as gold. Rare. Valuable. Easily stolen. Every time you scroll mindlessly, you are letting someone else decide what you should want. Every time you walk through a store with no plan, you are letting the shelves decide what you will buy. Every time you say yes to every invite, you are letting other people's urgency spend your time and your money. Ask yourself, do you give your focus away cheaply? Or do you guard it like something precious? Here is a simple but powerful shift. Before your money leaves, your focus leaves first. Before you spend, you pay attention. If all of your attention is on what you do not have, you will spend much trying to feel complete. If much of your attention is on what you already have and who you want to become, you will save little with a sense of purpose. Not out of fear. Out of intention. So how do you protect your focus like gold? You start by deciding what matters most. Not in a vague way. In a clear way. What kind of life do you actually want to build? What kind of person do you want to become through your choices with money? Do you want to be generous? Do you want to be free from debt? Do you want to have options in a crisis? Do you want to be able to say yes when a good opportunity appears? Write it in your mind. Hold that picture. Then, when you are about to spend, pause. Ask yourself, is this moving me closer to that picture or further away? Not every purchase needs to be perfect. But if most of your spending pulls you away from your vision, your future is on sale. You are trading it for short moments today. Protect your focus by limiting the noise. Sometimes the best way to save is not a new trick, but fewer triggers. Fewer emails trying to sell you something. Fewer hours watching people show you what they bought. Fewer walks through places designed to make you feel poor so you will spend to feel rich. When you reduce distraction, your focus returns. When your focus returns, your choices improve. Now, understanding all this, you might ask, how do I actually change? How do I move from spending much to saving little with consistency? Here is a simple growth sequence you can follow. Learn. Apply. Evaluate. Correct. Persist. First, you learn. You learn basic money principles. You learn where your money goes. You learn what triggers your spending. You learn what small amount you can save. You do not need to know everything. You just need to know more than you did yesterday. Then, you apply. You take one idea and you put it into practice. Maybe you decide, from now on, I will save at least 5% of every income. Maybe you decide, I will write down every expense for the next 30 days. Maybe you decide, I will wait 24 hours before buying anything non-essential. You apply. You move from thinking to doing. Then, you evaluate. After a week or a month, you look back. What happened? Did you save? Did you spend less? Where did you struggle? You face the truth, calmly. No drama. No hiding. Then, you correct. If 5% was too high, you lower it to 3% and build from there. If writing down every expense was overwhelming, you simplify your categories. If you keep breaking your 24-hour rule, you ask why and adjust the rule. You are not failing. You are refining. Then, you persist. You keep going. You do not quit because it was not perfect. You do not quit because one month was messy. Learn. Apply. Evaluate. Correct. Persist. This cycle is how you transform from spender to saver. From careless to careful. From reactive to intentional. Not in one dramatic leap, but in many small cycles of growth. Now, there is something important you must understand. You cannot wait to feel like doing this. If you depend on motivation to save, you will save rarely. Motivation comes and goes. It is a wave. One day you watch a video and feel inspired. You say, "This time I will change my finances." For a few days, you behave differently. Then the feeling fades. Old habits return. Why? Because you were relying on mood, not on systems. Discipline over motivation. Systems over emotions. You need a system that works even when you do not feel like it. A system might look like this. Every time you are paid, an automatic transfer moves a small amount into savings before you see it. You decide spending limits in quiet moments, not in the heat of desire. You review your money on the same day each week, whether you feel inspired or not. When you build a system, you reduce the number of decisions you need to make. You save by default, not by occasional willpower. Ask yourself, is your current financial life based on systems or on moods? Do you save because you decided in advance, or only when you feel guilty? Here is a principle to remember. If you design your environment, you do not need as much discipline in the moment. Make the good choice easier and the bad choice harder. Make saving automatic and spending more thoughtful. That is discipline working for you, not against you. Still, even with systems, you will need something else. Patience. Strategic patience. You live in a fast world. Fast delivery. Fast entertainment. Fast images of success. But money does not grow at the speed of your emotions. Wealth, true wealth, grows at the speed of seasons. Think of planting an orchard. In the first season, you plant small trees. They look fragile. They look unimpressive. You water them. You protect them. At the end of that season, you do not have fruit. You have growth you can barely see. In the second season, you keep caring for them. Some days they look almost the same. You might be tempted to stop. You might say, "This is not working." But underground, roots are spreading. The tree is anchoring itself. It is preparing for weight it cannot yet see. One day, years later, you walk into your orchard and pick fruit. You enjoy shade. You have something living that gives back. Where did that fruit really come from? Not from the day you picked it. From the seasons when you stayed patient. Saving little is planting trees. Spending much is cutting branches for a quick fire. One warms you for a moment. The other can feed you for years. Strategic patience means you accept that saving may feel slow. You accept that progress will not always be visible. You accept that your account will grow quietly, not dramatically. You do not dig up your seeds every week to complain. You let them do their work. You keep adding a little. You keep protecting what you added. One day, you wake up and your savings feel like an orchard. Not a single plant, fragile and easy to destroy. But many trees, built by years of patience. Now, patience is not passive. You are not just waiting. You are also measuring and adjusting. This brings us to feedback and refinement. You cannot manage what you refuse to measure. You cannot improve what you never examine. If you want to change your financial life, you must be willing to look at numbers. Not just once a year in fear. Regularly. Calmly. This is your feedback. At the end of each week or each month, sit down with your numbers. Total what came in. Total what went out. See what remains. Ask yourself, where did I spend much? Where did I save little? What surprised me? Do this without attacking yourself. You are not on trial. You are in training. Feedback is not punishment. Feedback is information. If you see that most of your extra money went to eating out, you now have information. If you see that subscriptions you do not use are quietly draining your account, you now have information. If you see that your savings did not grow this month, you now have information. With that information, you refine. You cancel what serves you no purpose. You lower what is too high. You remove what is not aligned with the person you want to become. Each month, you ask, what is one small change I can make to spend less and save a little more? One change. Not 10. Just one. Over time, those small refinements shift the direction of your entire life. This is measurement and correction. Look. Learn. Adjust. Now, as you repeat this process, something powerful begins to build. Momentum. Compounding. The flywheel effect. Imagine a huge, heavy wheel on an axle. At first, it does not move. You push. Nothing. You push again. It moves a little. Barely. You keep pushing. Each push adds a little speed. At the start, your effort seems far greater than your progress. It is tempting to quit. But if you keep pushing, something changes. The wheel begins to turn more easily. Your same effort produces more movement. Soon, it has its own momentum. You are now working with the wheel, not just against its stillness. This is your financial life. In the beginning, saving little feels pointless. You put aside a small amount and look at the total. It seems too small to matter. You think, what difference does this make? But every time you save, you are giving the wheel a push. Every time you track your spending, you are giving the wheel a push. Every time you say not now to spending much, you are giving the wheel a push. Then something begins to compound. Your savings earn a little on themselves. Your habits get easier. Your mistakes become fewer. Instead of starting over each month, you are building on what you did the month before. One day, you look up and realize you are no longer fighting to start. You are maintaining what you built. The flywheel is moving. Compounding is not only about interest on money. It is also about interest on character. Every small act of saving strengthens your identity as a saver. Every small act of discipline increases your self-respect. Every good decision makes the next good decision a little easier. This is who you are becoming. You are not just building a balance. You are building a person. A person who can be trusted with more. A person who is not easily shaken by pressure. A person who can think long-term in a short-term world. This is what I want you to see clearly. Saving little versus spending much is not mainly about comfort. It is not mainly about stuff. It is about your soul. Your strength. Your future self. Every time you choose saving over impulse, you send a message to your own heart. I can wait. I can say no. I can choose my future over my feelings. That message is more valuable than the money itself. Because one day, you will face something much bigger than a purchase. You will face a hard decision. A temptation to compromise your values. A moment where the easy thing and the right thing are not the same thing. In that moment, the same muscle you used to save will help you stand. The muscle of restraint. The muscle of patience. The muscle of long-term thinking. You are not just training your wallet. You are training your will. And as this training continues, breakthrough stops being a single event. It becomes a lifestyle. Most people think of breakthrough as one day when everything changes. But real breakthrough is many small changes, piled quietly, over time. One day you realize you are no longer afraid to open your banking app. That is a breakthrough. One day you realize you went a whole month without buying something you did not need just to feel better. That is a breakthrough. One day you realize your savings could cover months of expenses. That is a breakthrough. One day you realize you can help someone else because you are no longer drowning yourself. That is a breakthrough. These are not loud moments. There are no fireworks. No audience. But inside, something deep shifts. You move from surviving to stewarding. From being dragged by money to directing it. You begin to live with a different kind of quiet pride. Not pride in what you own. Pride in who you have become. Someone who can be trusted. By others. By life. By your future self. So now, bring this very close to your own life. Right here. Right now. Ask yourself 3 questions. First, who have I been with money until now? Not what you wish. What you have practiced. Have you been a spender of much, or a saver of little? Second, who do I want to become with money? Not just richer. Different. Wiser. Calmer. Do you want to become someone who saves with purpose? Someone who can say no. Someone who can say yes when it matters. Third, what is one small change I can make this week to begin that becoming? Not 10 changes. 1. Maybe you open a savings account if you do not have one. Maybe you set a small automatic transfer, even if it is small. Maybe you track every expense for 7 days. Maybe you delay one purchase you were about to make. One action. Because the distance between who you are and who you want to be is crossed one small choice at a time. You do not need more income to begin. You need more intention. You need a different story about who you are becoming. Are you the person who spends much for a short moment of applause? Or the person who saves little for a long season of freedom? Are you the person who says, I will start saving when I earn more? Or the person who says, if I cannot save from little, I will not be ready for much? You get to decide. Your future is not only shaped by what happens to you. It is shaped by how you handle what passes through your hands today. So choose. Choose to break the myth that money will fix your habits later. Let money expose your habits now, so you can change them. Choose to do the invisible work. Place the small stones. Create the channels in the soil. Plant the trees. Choose to prepare with little so you can stand when much arrives. Choose to let pressure reveal your patterns and use that truth to grow. Choose to protect your focus like gold, so your attention serves your future instead of someone else's agenda. Choose to follow the growth sequence. Learn. Apply. Evaluate. Correct. Persist. Choose systems over moods. Automatic, thoughtful, calm structures that keep you saving even on your worst day. Choose strategic patience. Accept the slow seasons. Trust the quiet growth. Choose feedback and refinement. Look at your numbers without fear. Adjust without shame. Choose momentum. Push the flywheel. Again and again, until it begins to carry you. And finally, choose breakthrough as a lifestyle. Small breakthroughs. Daily breakthroughs. Deep inner breakthroughs. Because saving little versus spending much is not about denying yourself life. It is about giving yourself a better life. A life where you are not chained to every bill. A life where you are not panicked by every surprise. A life where you can help, give, build, and rest with more peace. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are exactly where your past choices have brought you. And from here, you can choose again. Begin today. Save a little. Spend a little less. Pay attention a lot more. Let each small act of saving be a vote for the person you want to become. One day, you will look back on this season. You will remember when you decided to stop waiting for more and start being faithful with little. You will see that this decision was not small. It was the turning point. The day you stopped asking, "How much do I have?" and started asking, "Who am I becoming with what I have?" That question, answered daily, will quietly transform your life.